It's no secret on this channel that I kinda like to make fun of MGK a little bit. But I do it in good fun. I hold no malice towards Mr. Gunn. I mean, I thought he was a pretty decent rapper, although not in my top 5. And his first pop-punk album was actually surprisingly kinda solid. I do have less positive things to say about his second pop-punk album.
But we're not going to talk about that today.
He did a few freestyles and one-offs over the past few years that I actually thought were pretty good. But recently, my opinion on him is changing. He's been going in a new direction. Shedding his pop-punk skin, if you will. It's kind of a gross image to think about. And now he's becoming just a pop star, I guess. I don't know. Does he succeed? Does he fail miserably? Or a secret third thing? Let's find out.
Wait.
Hello and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, I'm Trevor and I am eternally uncool. I make videos about music, music culture, and anything that interests me. But mostly music right now. So if that sounds like something you'd be into, then I highly recommend subscribing to the channel and watching the rest of this video. MGK started out his career as a rapper, and for the most part, he was just kind of your run-of-the-mill white rapper. He wasn't as wild or as crazy as Eminem, or as insightful as Mac Miller, but he did okay. He set himself apart by collaborating with people like Kellen Quinn in Sleeping with Sirens, and Lizzie Hale of Hailstorm. Then he But then he decided to start beef with Eminem, which isn't a very good idea if you look at Eminem's track record. Very rarely do artists come back from a situation like this with someone as talented as Marshall Mathers. They both exchanged diss tracks, and everyone crowned M the victor. And MGK was
banished to the Shadow Realm. The shadows hunger for your mind and your soul.
After this, he switched up his style, drifting farther and farther away from traditional rap and hip-hop, and more into like emo rap and just plain emo and pop-punk. He released the single I Think I'm Okay with Travis Barker and Youngblood, then just had like a complete rebrand with Tickets to My Downfall. Some of his pop-punk was good, I'll admit that. I really liked My Bloody Valentine and Forget Me Too, but it all sounded like someone trying really hard to be California-era Blink-182, which isn't even their best era. And the follow-up really didn't help matters. I think people were getting kind of tired of his whole pop-punk shtick. Get out of my brain! But you know what? I give him credit for really sticking to it. He could have just left the industry and just chilled in his big house with his daughter and just coasted on royalties. He didn't do that though. He continued to make music, which he loves to do. Shifting from freestyles to really introspective, poetic rap songs to a country song that I'm still kind of not sure about. Now we're seeing MGK try just straightforward pop rock music. It's sleek, it's polished, it's well produced, but is it good? That's what I'm gonna find out. What I'm gonna do today is review MGK's new album, Lost Americana. This has been one of my most anticipated albums of 2025, mainly because I wanted to see if Coulson could pull it off. I'm gonna listen to the tracks, say what I like, what I don't like, rate them out of 10, and then I'm gonna give the album an overall score. Now I'm not gonna hold back. I'm not gonna go easy on you, Mr. Gunn. I will be unfiltered, uncut, and unfettered? With all that being said, grab a drink, grab a snack, get comfortable, and let's get into the review.
It sounds cliche, but tell me, would you wait for me? Baby, I'm a rolling stone.
Lost Americana was first announced with a trailer narrated by none other than rock and roll folk icon Bob Dylan.
Lost Americana is a personal excavation of the American dream. A journey to find what's been lost.
For a minute, everyone thought it had to be a sound-alike, or it had to be AI or something. Because what is Bob Dylan, one of the greatest songwriters and musicians of all time, what is he doing slumming it with MGK? But apparently Bob is a big fan of Mr. Gunn. Yeah, I know, fucking weird, right? But hey, he's Bob Dylan, so I guess he must know something.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, I won't be you won't do.
The album was promoted with the release of the lead single Cliché in May. And if you thought MGK's jump into pop punk was jarring, you ain't seen nothing yet. Ain't seen nothing yet. But baby, you just ain't seen nothing yet. This song is so much poppier than anything we've ever seen MGK do. I mean, sure, his pop punk stuff leaned real heavy into like the pop side of pop punk, but this song was just like straight pop. Then in July he released the second single, Vampire Diaries, and later in July he released the third single, Miss Sunshine. So now that we're caught up on the rollout, let's roll out the review.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Take me out. There's so much I haven't seen. Don't let me run inside this town.
Outlaw Overture opens with some really interesting synths that remind me of a more hyperactive Postal Service or like Owl City. It's a nice introduction to the song as well as the album as a whole. Very nostalgic, which I think is what MGK was going for. I heard a snippet of this song on Instagram before I really started writing this script, and something sounded off about MGK's vocals. I've talked before about how MGK isn't the best singer in the world, but that's not the problem here. I think it's some kind of effect they have on his voice that's making it sound weird. It's kind of lo-fi sounding, or like it's coming through like a dirty beat-up radio. I really did not like this at first, but there's a little bit of charm to it. Eventually the effect goes away during the chorus, and it's just his regular-ass voice. But the effect was kind of neat, I won't lie. This song has like multiple parts. It's not really like a medley or like a Jesus of Suburbia type of thing, but you have like the bleeps and bloops at the beginning, the dirty beat up radio verses, the pop punk inspired chorus, and then the ending is a bit softer with like some quasi rapping. It's honestly kind of interesting. I wasn't expecting this on an opening track, but I'm kind of impressed. This song is a 9 out of 10. It would be a 10 out of 10.
But I'm keeping my guard up.
The second track is Cliché, which I already kind of talked about a little bit, but I'm going to talk about it more because this is my video and I can do what I want. The first time I heard it, I thought he was going country again, and I got really worried. We do not need another white rapper going country. God, no. Please, no. I don't know why I thought it was country, I just have a broken brain. But once that initial worry faded away, I realized that I was listening to a pretty standard pop song. It's super catchy. I'm not even gonna lie. I think it does enough to distinguish MGK from other modern pop male vocalists. Cliché gets a 9 out of 10 from me. Probably one of my favorite songs of the year, at least in the top 20. But like I said, could be a 10, so I gotta stay on my toes. Don't Worry, Run Fast is described as a testosterone-fueled anthem about fighting against the odds, holding your ground, and winning by staying true to yourself. Pair that with the fact that it was inspired by MGK watching his friend Travis Kelce lose the Super Bowl. I didn't know if I was gonna like this one or not. It's definitely a hard rocker. It sounds kinda classic. Like it could have come from the 70s or 80s, but with some pop punk elements thrown in there. You know, just to keep it safe. I can see this being played at like sporting events. Like this song sounds like it was made for a montage of sweaty dudes just tackling each other and hitting each other with balls.
What?
Even though this song is described as a testosterone-fueled anthem, and I'm, well, me, I actually really enjoyed this one. It's not one of my favorites, but it's a nice little hard rock, classic rock throwback. 7.5 out of 10. It would be an 8, but I took half a point away because Travis Kelce. No explanation, just Travis Kelce. Goddamn is slower than the other songs we've heard thus far on the album. Honestly, it was kind of a slog to even get through. It's MGK talking about how he's fucked up like his past relationships due to his drug use. We love self-reflection here, but the rest of the lyrics are just cliche.
No pun intended.
I kept waiting for this song to get better, but it just doesn't. It's just this kind of like country rock slog that just feels really out of place. 4 out of 10. Vampire Diaries is probably the best thing that MGK has ever released. It mixes the 2000s nostalgia that he's really been going for on this album with the pop punk that he was playing around with a few years ago, and the current flavor of pop rock. Sonically, I love it. It's perfect. It's in my top 5 songs of 2025. It's fun, it's catchy, it's nostalgic. Fucking 10 out of 10. I'd give it an 11, but I can't legally do that. Miss Sunshine is a super summery, like sunshiny song. When I first heard it, I was kind of blown away because I wasn't expecting it. The song is just chill vibes. Sitting on the beach, toes in the sand, drink in hand, just vibing. It's what I expect Jimmy Buffett would have made if he was a pop punk guy. Fun song, very catchy. 8 out of 10. Sweet Caroline is not a cover of Neil Diamond, which is disappointing. What is also disappointing is that I read that title wrong, and it is, in fact, Sweet Coraline, not Sweet Caroline. Coraline, like the book and movie. You know, honestly, I wish this was a cover of Sweet Caroline, despite MGK's track record with covers. Because what we get is this weird mixture of MGK's Blink 182 style pop punk and a guitar riff that kind of rips off the Strokes a little bit. Honestly, I like the Strokes guitar riff that, like, did they steal it?
Did they steal it?
And the chorus is catchy, but other than that, I can't really remember anything else about this song, so 6 out of 10? Indigo is a lot more rap heavy than the other songs we've heard so far on the album. It's real moody, kind of dark and edgy and serious. It's okay. MGK's flow is fine. There's some clever wordplay, but he does his mumbly singing thing in the chorus, and I just... You were doing so good in the beginning, and then you brought out the mumbly singing thing. This track sticks out like a sore thumb, especially with some of the more pop-heavy, like, guitar-driven tracks. 4 out of 10. Starman is another moody track. It interpolates Third Eye Blind's classic song, Semi-Charmed Life, which, if you don't know, I fucking love Third Eye Blind. They're probably one of my favorite bands from the 90s and 2000s. But other than that, there's not really much that I like about this song. It straddles the line between MGK's rap songs and his, like, pop rock songs, and that just makes it feel disjointed. I like the Semi-Charmed Life parts, though. Those are cool. Like, if he just straight up covered the song, I probably wouldn't have a problem with it. But this song, Starman, does not hit with me. 5.5 out of 10. Tell Me What's Up is another rap-led track. I feel like this second half of the album is gonna be more like rap-heavy, which I wouldn't have a problem with if MGK was like a better rapper. This one's not bad. It's more self-reflective. The beat kind of reminds me of Fort Minor's Where'd You Go? Overall, it's decent, but it still kind of feels out of place. 6 out of 10. Can't Stay Here really surprised me, especially after the last few tracks. It's still slow and moody, but in like a ballad type of way. It has that classic 2000s like sad alternative rock on the radio vibe. Like think the aforementioned Daughtry or like Lifehouse. Very nostalgic, but in like a kind of sad way. 7.5 out of 10. Treading Water is another pop rap track. I'm not really feeling this one. It's real slow and sad, and not in like a good way. It's like they're trying too hard to like tug at my heartstrings and make me feel something. Even the Mod Sun feature doesn't help this song. Fucking 3 out of 10. The final track is Orpheus. I assume this is a reference to the character in Greek mythology. Orpheus was, of course, a musician, which makes sense since MGK is also a musician. Orpheus travels to the underworld to save his wife, Eurydice. I assumed that this song would be about lost love. It kind of is about the whole Orpheus and Eurydice thing, and I think it might be about his relationship with Megan Fox. I could be wrong. The song itself is kind of similar to a lot of those sad pop songs you see a lot of recently, especially on like TikTok. It sounds much more modern than a lot of the earlier tracks. To be fair, MGK does a pretty good job vocally. He's giving a pretty decent performance, showing off a good amount of emotion. The song is fine. It's not really something I'd listen to multiple times, but as an album closer, I think it's pretty solid. Very grandiose, while also being introspective and reflective. 6.5 out of 10.
We were royalty in a cheap hotel.
I will give credit where credit is due. MGK does seem to have matured since his last album. I won't say his pop punk phase was a phase. I do think he genuinely enjoys and respects the genre. I also think he enjoys all of the genres that he kind of experimented with on Lost Americana, even if some of them don't quite land. The first half of this album is solid. MGK and company mix 2000s nostalgia with modern production. The songs are fun and bouncy and catchy as hell. But therein lies the problem. This album is front-loaded as
Fuck.
the second half of this album, things go really downhill. It's like they wanted to make this nostalgic pop rock album, but also wanted to make a kind of modern pop rap album. And the pop rap album just isn't very good. I feel like if he really focused on crafting a few more like nostalgic pop rock songs similar to the ones he had at the beginning of the album, Lost Americana would have been so much better. Honestly, I can see myself coming back to a few songs on this album. The singles are very good, very solid, really catchy. Probably some of the best that MGK has ever made. But that second half, man, ugh. You know, I think an overall score for this album, being as lopsided and as scatterbrained as it is, would probably be a solid 6.5 out of 10. What do you think of MGK's new album? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let me know in the comments. That's gonna do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then I highly recommend smashing that like button and sharing this video with everyone you know. I'm a small, independent content creator who does everything on his own. There's literally no one else who works on this channel. No editor, no promoter, it's all just me in my bedroom making these videos. And I'm really trying to grow my channel, so every like, every comment, every share, any interaction with this video at all really helps me out a bunch. I'm also trying to grow my Instagram, so if you want to follow that, you can. But with all that being said, thank you for watching. As always, I'm Trevor. Stay uncool. And that's the end of the video. Goodbye.